The Super Nintendo was a console that I played a lot of as a child, but did not own one. It's a bit weird, but I do have a top 10 list from all the games that I have played now over my adult life via backup copies and by collecting games via retro collecting. Now, obviously I just made a video on F-Zero, so I'm going to start with the original F-Zero. I do really like this game, and I have played an absolute ton of it, and I do play it quite a bit actually from time to time. There's something about the mechanics I don't know, it just seems it's simplistic but also fun at the same time. I think it was also the first Super Nintendo game to use the kind of streaming texture, streaming gizmo, whatever it is, to make it look like it's almost 3D but not quite. I think I read that somewhere, I don't know, I could be talking out my ass. But F-Zero is definitely making the top 10 list, and I do still want another F-Zero Nintendo. Up next is Super Bomberman 2. I love me some Bomberman. Obviously not the more recent ones, but the old school ones on the Sega Mega Drive and on the Super Nintendo. These games are so fun, especially the multiplayer. I really do enjoy it, and Super Bomberman 2 I absolutely love. I played a ton of it ever since picking it up, and where I played the Super Nintendo the most as a child was my cousin had a Super Nintendo, whereas me and my brother had Sega Mega Drive, so we'd go over there and it was awesome because there was no internet, there was no oversaturation, just go over there and find out what Super Nintendo games he had, and he seems to have had all of the decent ones. But Super Bomberman 2 was a game that a lot of my friends also had, and I did have a Bomberman on the Sega, but this one has definitely got to make the top 10 list. And then we have Mega Man X. This Mega Man is really cool. It plays incredibly well with the wall jumping as well, and the shooting, and its graphics as well look really cool. This was the first Mega Man that I played after like Mega Man 2, and it back then, of course, it blew my mind with how good it looked and how good it played, and it's just always stuck with me and is 100% definitely making the top. If any Mega Man game for the Super Nintendo is making the top 10 list, this Mega Man X is such a really good game. Hard, of course, because it's a Mega Man, but definitely really damn good. Earthbound, definitely making the list. JRPGs and RPGs are my jam. They are my main bread and butter when it comes to playing video games, and Earthbound is absolutely weird, of course, but definitely on the top 10 list. I didn't discover this until my adult life. I had no idea it existed, a lot like a lot of other people. However, if you want a retro game collect for this one, you're going to have to get that wallet out because it's damn expensive. Luckily, you can play it on the Nintendo's live service, or you can just get yourself a backup copy for no cost whatsoever, and you can play it. It's a really good game. It's very, very bizarre, but you know, you may have just heard some thunder. Apparently it's going to rain. Joy. Thor is obviously angry. But yes, please pick up or play Earthbound if you can. It is a strange game, but it's a damn good RPG. Up next is the Immortal Street Fighter 2. My cousin had this game, and I used to go over there all the time and play against him, and he would kick the living crap out of me, of course, because he had it. Although Street Fighter 2 was also available for Mega Drive, so I could have played it, I didn't own it. I always played Street Fighter 2 back then in the 90s over my cousin's house, but every single time I was there, we played it, and I absolutely loved the game, and Street Fighter is my favourite gaming franchise. Street Fighter is my thing, and Street Fighter 6 is really good. I do play that a lot from time to time. Not so much online these days because people look up on YouTube. I know it's ironic, I'm a YouTuber, but they look up on YouTube for the best or the most broken combo or the most efficient combo, and then everyone does that. So if you're coming up against a Kami or a Ken or a Ryu or Chun-Li or whatever, they're all doing the same thing because it's the most efficient way to win rather than just fighting and having fun and whatnot. But then that could be taken as me saying that I'm absolutely dog water and I'm making excuses. I mean, look at it either way you want. I don't care really. I got nothing to prove. But Street Fighter 2 is definitely on the list. Up next is one of the best platformers known to mankind, and that is Donkey Kong Country. Now, I have put Donkey Kong Country 1 on the list. I haven't really played the other two games on the Super Nintendo. I do really like Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii. Of course, it was ported to the Switch, but I do really like that one. But here for Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country 1, I have the most history with, because again, it's a game my cousin owned, and I used to play the ever-living crap out of it. It blew my mind graphically back then and gameplay-wise, and especially the music is also so amazing. But I don't think any top 10 list for Super Nintendo is complete without Donkey Kong Country. Coming in at a spicy 4th place is Super Mario World, which I know is going to probably make a lot of people confused, because this is usually the number 1 game or number 2 game on people's lists, and you would be damn right. But of course, this was the game that was bundled in with most Super Nintendo bundles, so that you got the game with the console, which was a damn good deal, and it is a very good game, and probably one of, if not the best platformers on the Super Nintendo. But it's Mario. I love me some Mario. But of course, there were 3 games that come before Mario, for me personally, which just elevated the Super Nintendo beyond amazing. And, well, just that, really. I mean, I don't know what more I can say about Super Mario World that has not already been said, so I'll just leave it there. But of course, it makes the top 10 list, and of course, almost breaks into the top 3. Coming in at number 3 is Chrono Trigger. This game, again, I did not know existed back in the 90s, did not know it existed until it was re-released on the Nintendo DS, and as soon as I saw that Akira Toriyama was the artist for it, and then it was obviously Square Enix, the guys mooching around doing Final Fantasies, and Final Fantasies are my favourite JRPGs. Of course I had to get it, and of course it's a phenomenal game. It is fantastic. I have only ever gotten just over halfway through, I believe, which is not acceptable. I will complete this game one day, but playing it, when I played it as an adult, because I own it on Steam, and that's where I got like over halfway through it, I can see why people revere this game, and it's considered one of the best games on the Super Nintendo, 100%. It's a fantastic game. It looks good, plays good, it has a really good story, and 100% needs to be HD'd up and ported. Remade maybe, but definitely it needs to be brought easily accessible to everyone on modern consoles, not just locked on Steam and on the Nintendo DS. It needs to come back. Coming in at 2nd place is Super Metroid. This game, again, a game my cousin had, played a lot of it back then, but I've been playing this specific game for years. Originally on the Nintendo's Gizmo, their online service, but of course this is a backup copy, a German one apparently. I didn't know that, but there you go. But I do want to replay through Super Metroid. I've only ever completed it once in my life, which again is unacceptable and needs to be done again and again. I had so much fun playing through it. I'm currently also playing through Metroid Dread again, and Metroid Dread is such a damn good game. But Super Metroid is one of, probably the best Metroidvania out there. Everything just works. The wall jumping's a bit iffy, but once you've got it down and you figured it out, it's pretty cool. But it is phenomenal, and it does Metroidvania much better than a lot of modern games. With, well, some of them excluded, of course, like the Hollow Knights and Silksong. Silksong looks pretty cool. I haven't played Silksong yet. I haven't even completed Hollow Knight. I'm working on that. I've unlocked all the abilities. I just need to get and finish the game, and I will get to it. Then I'll do Silksong. But Metroid, Super Metroid specifically, is what got me into Metroidvanias. And taking the number 1 spot is The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. This was the first Super Nintendo game that I played. When I first saw it, it blew my mind. And I still remember when me and my cousin went over, we both went over to a second cousin's house or something. It was some weird family thing. And we went over there, and our second cousin was a little older than us, and he had a Super Nintendo setup with Legend of Zelda Link to the Past in it. And then me and my cousin were fighting over the controller to play it first. And that's the only time we've ever fought. And I still remember that to this day. But then we both took it in turns, and we played it, and it was amazing. As an adult, I am kicking myself because I would have told my younger self to go Super Nintendo over Sega Mega Drive, and I would have also, I know this is probably going to be spicy, I would have also told my younger self to go GameCube over Xbox. Yes, Halo was a game changer and amazing, and Fable, yes, but the GameCube has so many amazing bangers on it. Nintendo were really cooking throughout the 90s, late 80s and 90s, and early 2000s. They really were. But The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past is a timeless classic. It is one of the best Zelda games, hands down. It kicks all kinds of ass, and I hope it gets the Link's Awakening remake treatment at one point and gets a beautiful 4K, high frame rate resolution, blah 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 remake, just like Link's Awakening, most definitely. But Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, again, just like with Super Mario World, there's not really much I can say that has not already been said by a lot of older gamers like me, but it just takes the #1 spot because it's just phenomenal. But that is my top 10 list. Please let me know down below what your top 10 list is, and as always, thank you very much for watching.